how's it going? Michael Mosley here with Bago Games, once again at TwitchCon 2019. I'm joined here today by Ryan.
Yeah, well, we'll talk a little bit about Lightstream and a little bit about Arsenal.
Okay, Lightstream and Arsenal.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about Lightstream.
Sure, so Lightstream is a lightweight broadcast studio that runs in a browser. It's powered by the cloud, so allows you to do some kind of unique things as far as bringing on remote feeds and captures and things like that.
Okay. And so what's the difference between Lightstream and Arsenal? What exactly is Arsenal?
Yeah, so Arsenal is kind of an affiliated product or affiliated company, and they provide live streaming stats and analytics for streamers to kind of dive deeper into their stats and figure out what's working well for their channel.
Okay. So we're going to start with Lightstream first.
Great.
So explain a little bit about Lightstream and how streamers and gamers in general can take advantage of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, Lightstream is a little different than traditional broadcast software just because instead of being like a downloadable piece of software that you keep on your computer, it's actually completely cloud-based. So you can just go to any browser, log in with your Twitch or other platform of choice, but we'll say Twitch, we're at TwitchCon. You can log in and easily just start producing a live stream right there in your browser without having to download anything.
Okay, so like streamers on the go, like coming here to TwitchCon, not everybody can get a streaming booth. You can actually take the software on your laptop and stream it from your hotel room or anything like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's great for people who travel a lot. All of your projects, all of your scenes, you can have multiple projects. Each project can have multiple scenes, and those are all saved up in the cloud. So when you're traveling, you're on the road, you literally just log into your account on any web browser, and all of your stuff's set up there. It's also great for, like for instance, if I've seen a lot of IRL streamers here at TwitchCon, it's actually really awesome for stuff like that. There's actually the ability in Lightstream Studio to easily create like an RTMP source. For anybody that's not familiar, RTMP is kind of the video protocol that people use to stream to Twitch. And so instead of streaming directly to Twitch, you can set up these different sources that people can stream to, and you can combine and mix and match those in really cool ways. Add any kind of customizations or overlays you want, and then those will get forwarded onto the Twitch account that you logged into. So you can kind of set up a workflow where you've got multiple video feeds coming in. You can mix and match them however you want and send them on to Twitch.
Alright, so you can do like a co-stream or multi-stream with friends while you're out.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it works great for multiplayer streaming. Like if we're gonna play a duos of Apex or Fortnite or whatever. I can say, hey, stream to. I'm gonna give you an ingest and a stream key that I've generated here in Lightstream with one click. I'm going to stream to this one, and then both of our feeds start populating in. I can put us together on the same stream. I can have, if one of us goes down, I can switch to another scene and have it focus just on the one. So it gives you a lot of creative flexibility. Also works really great. Another thing that we've seen a lot of people use it for is charity streams, actually. A lot of people like doing like marathon charity streams where
24 hours.
Yeah. And so some people are doing those by themselves. Other times there's like stream teams that get together and it's like, hey, I'll stream for 2 hours from like 8 to 10, then you go from 10 to midnight or whatever. But what a lot of people have been doing is you set up these different RTMP things and say, hey, stream to this RTMP. You start at 8, then the person comes on at 10. They're gonna come in and start streaming a little bit beforehand, and you can queue them up and just seamlessly switch between them on the same channel. So you don't have to take the stream down and have somebody else start streaming. You can just seamlessly transition to the next person without having to take the stream down, which is pretty awesome for streams like that.
So there's a quick drop in, drop out kind of aspect to it.
Yeah.
All right, that's real. So you mentioned that you could generate the keys on there. Is the key that you generate saved in the cloud along with the program, or do you have to continuously generate keys every time you boot up?
It's saved, so when you have a project and you can have a scene within there, it's unique to the project, so you can add an RTMP source to the project. Once you've, it's literally just a single button click, and it'll be there and it'll generate one for you automatically, and then you can use that on any scenes that you want within that project. So you could have that same video feed on multiple scenes if you're creating different production elements that you want to do. But you can create as many of those as you want, so you can have people stream to different ones if you want to have more people involved. So.
Okay, so it sounds like you have a team project done with using Lightstream. Is there a way to also have people moderate for you? People who can join in and moderate and help with the chat.
Well, yeah, I mean, not so much through Lightstream. I mean, that would be part of like whatever the Twitch channel is, because obviously, like, this is just to produce the stream, pulling all the
Okay.
feeds together. The final stream is going to go to Twitch or wherever you want to broadcast to.
Right, so it generates towards Twitch.
Yeah, so
Okay.
if you know, you can use your normal chat moderation there. Right now, we don't really have like a collaboration system, so multiple people can be in the same project at the same time. It's, you know, only one person should be in the project that's at a time. But it is really cool, like, if you do want to have somebody that runs production for the stream, like, one person that's running the charity stream can have that up and run everything, and they're just communicating with the streamers saying, like, hey, you know, you start streaming here, you start streaming here, or, hey, I got your feed, and they can do that.
Okay. Since it's cloud-based and you don't have to worry about downloading the software, that just leaves computer specs. Just how powerful does my computer have to be in order to run live stream?
Yeah, it can be pretty low-level computer. In some cases, you don't even need a computer at all.
Okay.
Because actually, like, you know, we can bring in the webcams, we can ingest our TMP feeds. It's kind of just like a window into a remote computer. So really, like, most computers with the browser and like a decent internet connection, just to get the feeds and stuff like that, can usually handle it just fine. So, and then there's certain cases, like for instance, we're going to be launching a new plan for primarily targeted at IRL streamers, so that they can have one of these RTMP sources that I talked about. They can check a button to have that automatically go live whenever they start streaming to it. So you set up your project, you have it linked to your Twitch account, you add this RTMP source, and you add on all of your, you know, branded overlays, you add on all your alerts, you know, for followers and all that stuff that you normally do if you were streaming from home. But while you're out at a convention or whatever, when you go live to that RTMP source, it's going to automatically detect, oh, I'm receiving a video signal, add on all the overlays, add on all the alerts, and then just send that on to Twitch.
Okay.
And so, once you have it set up, technically you don't even really need a computer to add all that stuff to your stream and go live. So it's pretty good.
So what about mobile? Mobile live stream is becoming increasingly popular thanks to like PUBG Mobile and Creative Destruction, having these battle royales on your mobile phone now. A lot of people are streaming from there. Will Lightstream support that, or would it be supporting it soon?
Are you talking about like the game, like the screen capture of the game?
Screen capture from your phone.
So right now, Lightstream's really more set up for like podcasts or talk shows, or bringing in these remote feeds and like kind of manipulating those. As far as like game capture itself, you're usually capturing that with some other software and then sending that to Lightstream. So think of it more like if you're doing like webcams, there's also a really cool feature where you can actually just invite people on. It's like, so if you wanted to have me on and I'm at home, you know, in another city,
right,
and you know you're somewhere else, you could just send me a web link, and I just click on that, and to me it just looks like a normal Google like Hangout style video chat.
Right.
On your side, you can add in my camera, my microphone, come right into Lightstream Studio. So you can add that and configure, you know, your layout for your interview, you know, stream however you'd like, and go ahead and go live with that. So outside of like capturing webcams, the browser does a good job of just like capturing like kind of more static or slow moving things. So we do have a screen share ability, but it's more for like if you want to show off a website or like a presentation, or you know just show some information on your
So Lightstream is great for people who doesn't want to download anything as heavy as like OBS or,
exactly.
or Streamlabs or anything like that.
Yeah.
And they want something that they can run because they have a decent enough connection, but you know, resource hogs like OBS that just eats away at memory. So how does Lightstream handle CPU and memory for computers?
Yeah, so like I said, it's just browser based. So whatever your browser is using is pretty much what we're using.
Okay, so it's just going off of that.
Yeah, a lot of it's built off of WebRTC technology for the camera capture and the screen capture that I talked about. So it's kind of similar to like if you've ever done like a Google Hangouts call or like a basic video call through a browser on your computer. It's going to take about the same amount of resources as that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to worry about your computer chugging away because you only have like 8 gigs of memory on there. So that's really cool.
Yeah, you should be good.
Let's talk about Arsenal. Arsenal, what exactly benefits the gamers? Like, what does Arsenal do for them?
Sure. So Arsenal, like I said, is a live streaming analytics platform. Right now, if you're a Twitch or a Mixer streamer, you can log in for free. You go in and you'll get a full dashboard view of all of your channel's data. And what it allows you to do is just kind of the way that it's visualized, and you can dive a little bit deeper into some of your past metrics. It also goes back indefinitely, so currently some of the platforms, like, you can only go back 90 days or something like that.
Right.
So this gives you the ability to like have accurate historical data of your streams and your channel, and helps you surface some really interesting information. Like, for instance, you can actually dive into each individual stream that you do, and if you switched games or switched topics, and you updated that title or that category on Twitch, it will actually show you your viewership graph as you went across, and will color code based on the game that you play. So you can see, like, oh, I started out just chatting, I'm just getting started, the viewership's a little bit lower. When I switched to Fortnite or whatever my main game is, it really spiked up really big, and then it's like, oh, I wanted to play around and like do some other stuff, so I switched to this other game, and like maybe it dropped down a little bit. And it's like, okay, like I can see that, like, that's my game, or that's what's drawing people to my stream, and it can just kind of give you a better idea of like, schedules and kind of content, like kind of what's working for your audience to kind of help you grow your channel.
Okay. So is there a way for players who actually set up kind of like a schedule, like, oh, I want to see like what I did last week compared to what I did this week, for those who do weekly streams? Like, can you do we obviously can do a graph, but can you do a comparison of the two?
Yeah. So I don't think right now there's functionality to like directly like overlay the graphs on top of each other, but what you can do is look at like a wider period of time and get an idea of like your viewership for different streams on different days, and kind of compare them in one graph like that. Yeah, absolutely. Another really interesting feature of Arsenal that just launched fairly recently is what we call key campaigns. So there's the streamer side where you can go in and look at your own channel. We also offer business level accounts to game studios, game publishers, people who manage different streamer programs at different brand companies. This gives them the full view of all live streaming that's happening on all the major gaming platforms, including YouTube, Facebook, DLive, a lot of the other ones as well. And so what this allows them to do is they can get a really good idea of like, hey, I want to start working with some new streamers. I can get an idea of who's maybe playing games that are similar to mine, maybe who's, or get an idea of who's streaming my games and like who's most active in my community. I want to reward those people. I want to reach out to them. And so we've also created what we call game key campaigns, which allow people who are managing those campaigns, they can manage all their distribution of all the game keys that they want to distribute to streamers that they want to play their game or they want to review their game. And so we actually have public campaign pages. So when they launch those, anybody who has an individual streamer account, one of the free accounts, can browse this list of all these campaigns and really easily in one click apply to receive a game key for that particular game. So yeah, it's really interesting. We've had a lot of really fun things that launched on there. Actually, Borderlands 3 recently, for the early access, ran a lot of those early access campaigns through Arsenal. It was really interesting to see people apply to those. And what's awesome about it is they're verified campaigns from the publisher or the game studio are the ones that are actually, they set the qualifications. They're the ones that they're proactively managing the campaign. Arsenal's just a tool. We allow them to manage it, but they get to set, they set all the rules, and they're actually actively, engaging with those streamers and those campaigns. And what's great about when somebody applies through Arsenal, all of their stats come with the application automatically.
Okay.
So as a streamer, I don't have to spend a bunch of time trying to round up information from all these different dashboards and figure out how I'm going to present this to these people that I'm applying this to. The people that are reviewing will automatically see all of your stats, and so you can kind of focus. There's an area where you can kind of put in the information that you want to share with the campaign manager. You can kind of focus more on the personal stuff, like what makes you stand out as a streamer besides just your stats, like what's unique about you, what's unique about your community, and kind of give you an opportunity to get them interested in your stream and kind of what you're doing. So
That sounds amazing. So, all right, so I actually want to talk about the developer side. there's a lot of independent developers. They're, of course, they're trying to get their game seen, and they want to find out what's doing. And they all can't get PewDiePie or I'm sorry, PewDiePie and I'm so bad at this, or Ninja or Markiplier or well, can't say his name. But anyway, you can't always afford those big guys. Like they're always busy. They're always streaming out moments and moments of new games, old games, retro games. They're always busy trying to do something. So for developers, how can they use the analytics of Arsenal to make better calls of who's actually like playing the game and using it compared to those, hey, they're there for a freebie, and will they also be able to attract like giveaways? Like, hey, we gave this person so many keys, and so many keys in such amount of time that they gave away.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some really cool features that are kind of built into Arsenal for people that are running those kinds of campaigns, or just have a business level account. So one of the things they can do is actually set up milestones. This is like they can set up their own reports. So this isn't visible to the streamers, but me as a manager, I've given all these game keys out to people.
Right.
How is this performing? First of all, if when they release, you can set up custom reports and put any number of people. Say I have other sponsorship deals I'm working on the side. I can put all these people in a custom report and just look at the people I have deals with. I can focus that report in on just my game, so I can get an idea of how often are people streaming the game, like what are they doing with it. You can also set milestones, so it's like I'd like maybe as part of this program, or maybe I'll give you maybe there's different tiers. You get an extra bonus if you stream at least X number of hours, or you stream 3 days a week. You stream the game at some point, or you get so many viewers or whatever to watch your streams where you're streaming our game. You can set up these different tier lists so you can get an idea of like how people are breaking down and how they're kind of meeting those criteria, which is for them super easy way, and it's all tracked automatically. Right now, a lot of people are going to actually have an army of interns that are going out and watching all these people's VODs or these streams and trying to get an idea are they streaming the game, how often are they doing it, how long are they streaming it. So now they can just basically set up these reports in a couple clicks, find somebody, add them to the report. This stuff starts getting tracked for them automatically, which is pretty helpful. And then so if they do a key campaign and they all the streamers that they approve to be in the campaign automatically get added to a report. So they instantly, just by approving somebody, they have a list of everybody that's received a key to the game that's filtered to just that game for the time period that they want to track it for, and they can instantly see, these people really engaged, these people really took advantage of that opportunity, created a lot of content for the game. For our next game, or if we want to do more sponsorship opportunities with other streamers, we're going to identify those top people that engage with the game and approach them versus, like you mentioned, these people on the bottom that just wanted a free copy of the game. We thought that they were going to do more with it. They didn't really do much, so we're going to engage and spend more time with these other people over here. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So for setback for streamers for a quick second, when they get these keys, did he actually also get to keep up with the developers the same in the same sense? Like, okay, this developer they've tracked this many keys for me, or is that something they have to keep up on their own?
Yeah, so when there's a separate tab for all the keys that you've applied for, and it'll tell you your status, whether you were basically pending, declined, or approved. So okay. You'll have an idea, if you were accepted or not. You'll get an email, obviously, also, but you can kind of just get a historical view and be able to access them if you need them. So
okay. Which would do great for people. It's like, hey, I've been doing well, gotten these developers
yeah, absolutely. On my side. Yeah, and what's awesome is, you could even really easily create case studies for yourself. If there's somebody that you want to work with, maybe that doesn't have a key campaign on Arsenal, you could say, hey, I got these keys through Arsenal. I started streaming. I got the key on this date. Here, I filtered this report to show you. This is the content that I created with this key I got, and I did this for 4 different campaigns. These are the viewerships. This is how many viewers saw me playing this game, promoting it, etc. And then you can kind of create different reports for yourself, and you can go and use that as a case study when you're approaching other sponsors and things like that.
That's awesome. So does Arsenal only work for something like Twitch and Mixer, or could I use it for my personal blog or Venmo or YouTube and stuff like that. Things where they do have their own analytic software, but it's not always accurate and it's not always the best.
Yeah, so currently, Arsenal as a whole, as a platform, if you have a business account, tracks many live streaming services. And just to be clear, it's just live streaming statistics. Okay. So you can manually add YouTube VODs if you're trying to track something very specific, but we don't log all the information of all YouTube VODs. There's just way too many for us to be able to do that with everything else that's going on. Basically all live streams on Twitch, Mixer, Facebook Live, YouTube Live. So if it's a live stream, it will appear in there. DLive, Smashcast. There's a handful of others that are all being tracked. As an individual streamer coming to check stats on your own channel, right now it's just Twitch and Mixer. We have plans to open that up to more platforms, but for now, it's just Twitch and Mixer for the individual content creators.
Is there anything else that you want to mention about Lightstream or Arsenal? Anything that you want to announce or something that you guys are working on here for TwitchCon?
Yeah, I think the big thing for us was the IRL thing. So being able to have the auto go live projects. We also have a special thing with talking about other platforms with Mixer, like kind of like a Xbox integration. So it works similar to the IRL thing I mentioned earlier, where basically you say, hey, I want to use Lightstream, and it'll route your Xbox capture through Lightstream on its way to like Mixer or something like that. I know that's the default stream. Yeah. So
there's a lot of there was a lot of IRL people walking around TwitchCon.
Yeah,
there's a lot of them. So I'm pretty sure they'd enjoy having that kind of tools in their box set.
Yeah, and so in Lightstream and Arsenal are both free to use. So it's just golightstream.com for the live streaming studio, and it's arsenal.gg for the live streaming statistics.